Right, hi, my name's Martin Blewett and I'm part of Co-Innovate. This talk is with South Lane Studios, and they have a recording studio. They're set up over relatively recently, but I'm going to let them talk to you about that. I'm asking them a few questions about the business and how they've developed. And I'm going to start that with my first question, which is simply to ask you guys a little brief description of South Lane Studios.
Cool. Okay. So myself, Meg, we've got Sam, and we have got Luke there as well. We are the founders of South Lane Studios, a recording and rehearsal studio based in Brighton. So our strategy, as soon as an artist walks through the door, it's rehearse, record, release. We focus right from the beginning of an artist's journey through development and working with them in every aspect we possibly can do, right through to release, to essentially get them to achieve whatever their goal may be. Yeah, and we've been open since February the 1st, 2020. Obviously due to lockdown, closed a little bit, but it all going well. And yeah, we're all persevering through.
Fantastic. So you're recording quite a lot of new music?
Yes, yeah. I'll let the guys take this. So I am studio manager, and the other two guys we have are engineers and producers.
Yeah. So I suppose my question there is, why did you start a recording studio?
I mean, I think, so myself and Luke are producers at South Lanes, and we've always been involved in the music, kind of particularly in the Brighton scene. So I think initially we were just fed up of not having a workspace to actually carry out our work. So we started up a small studio, I think kind of over a year and a half ago now. And then when perhaps we started seeing a bit more work coming in, we asked Meg if she wanted to join the team, who basically took control of sort of studio operations and sorting admin and bookings. And it sort of instantly, that happened in January, and it instantly became a very confirmed and official business. So we opened up as being a limited company in early part of this year, and obviously just despite lockdown and COVID restrictions, we've battled through it, and have kind of come out really on top of everything, which has been great. But there's always been a scene in Brighton for music, and I think myself and Luke have always been involved in that and have wanted to kind of play our role in not only developing our own skills, but actually pushing that further into a business, and living off that essentially. So there's certainly a market for it in Brighton as well. So
no, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I've popped down to see you in your studio. It's really exciting. It's great to see lots of people, lots of young artists developing music, and you guys really professionally helping and supporting them, which is,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So guys, obviously you kind of developed this business together. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about what was it like to kind of co-develop a new business?
Luke, do you want to?
Yeah, again. Co-developing a business together, I think it's an amazing journey, really. It's like a journey about learning about one another, most importantly, and what our strengths and weaknesses are. And I think you learn a lot about yourself as well in that kind of journey, doing that, co-working with other people, because you kind of, you're your own self-critic, on things. So it's great to kind of like learn from that aspect, and then you go, oh well, you're amazing at that. Oh well, actually you do that, I don't have to do that anymore because I'm not that good at that bit, but you're amazing at it and you're really passionate. So it's kind of like co-working with people and developing a business is kind of that's I think is really at the foothold of how it becomes successful. It's kind of like working those things out first. I think
it's as well, it drives new opportunity. I mean, the three of us know that we bring different elements in of the business, different aspects, and I think from kind of the live side of the event industry that me and Luke are probably more towards, and then you've got that sync work that Sam kind of has brought in with us, and together we've kind of gelled it all together, and you know, just creating the opportunities new, and not just for us, for people that walk through the door, you know, for our clients as well. I think that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of potential songwriters, we are looking to help develop, and I think that's key. That's what makes us stand out, for sure.
I think also as well is from an investment point of view, when you know, we're initially starting up. I mean, we all put money into this business, and having 3 heads on it meant that we could achieve, you know, 3 times as much, because you know, I don't think we could have done this even with 2 of us. We need 3 people involved in this, and you know, now we're looking at potentially expanding and getting more people involved in this. And we you know, I think it's very easy just at the first point of starting up a business that you think you may be able to do this on your own, but it's difficult. It's really hard, especially if you have other commitments as well, and you're kind of like battling between having a passion for creating a business that you ultimately love having and doing, and also having to
make sacrifices.
Yeah, exactly, and make a living. So 3 heads is always better than 1.
It's a good way of making decisions too, because if it's 2 versus 1, well, going with that one, aren't we?
Exactly.
As long as you guys can have that kind of thing.
So
exactly.
No, absolutely. So you're still studying, or you've completed your studies now?
We're all still studying. Yeah.
It's amazing that you've managed to do, you know, you've combined the studying that you're doing, and you've also set up what is clearly a really vibrant and you know, successful company.
No, you forget that. I think you forget that, don't you?
I think you say successful, we're like, I don't think we feel like we haven't started yet, you know. I mean, well, we have started, but I suppose that's kind of the aspirational side of starting a business, isn't it? It's kind of like, you never feel, I don't think, content, because there's always something better to do. There's always something more you can do. Like, as long as you're doing the right thing and helping people, and money's coming in, rent's being paid, that's great. But I always feel like there's, you know, and I think we're all on that. So
No, absolutely. And of course, you actually, you know, you've had to rent a physical studio and make a physical studio. So there's a lot of, it's not just advice. It's not just, you know, your business is quite substantial in terms of the things that you needed to put together to make it work.
A lot of skills that we needed to learn. I mean, things that we would perhaps never have had to learn, you know, DIY and building and things like that.
Laying flooring till 3 in the morning.
Flooring down, all these little things. But yeah, you know, if you're starting a business up, you need to go the extra mile. You need to put the hard work in. I think that hit us at first, but you know, now we're expanding. We've had previous experience in building studios, and we feel very confident going into this now, because we knew where we went wrong the first time, and we had that opportunity to make the mistakes and learn from them. So
I suppose taking on from that kind of learning from mistakes and developing, what kind of advice would you give to other people who are thinking of starting and, you know, or co-developing their own business?
I think there's lots of different things I think you could talk about in this. For what's helped us individually is having jobs on the side as well, because we need to be able to support ourselves whilst we're doing this. And like, you know, because like any business, any sort of business thing, you know, you'll never make money in that first year. I mean, you might do, amazing if you can do that, that's great, but the longevity of businesses, usually it takes time to build these things. So it's persistence, it's trying to learn as much, keep on learning, like we were talking about studying. I mean, I think when we finish our university degrees or masters or whatever things we're doing, I know personally, certainly I'll never stop learning, you know, I'll never stop studying, because the more you know, the more things that you can do, obviously in your business as well. If you can do them yourself, then you're saving money in that way. as well, things like that. So I think key advice is just keep on learning, keep on studying, and always be like passionate about it as well. If you're not passionate about the business you're going into, then choose another business.
The key of working, I'd say the key of working, especially together, you know, rather than by yourself, is from the beginning it was clear to us, right, what's my strength, what's my weakness, what's Sam's, what's Luke's, and by that we go, right, we have a job list, we have role, and you know, we just become more efficient at it. And I think over time that's what, you know, now we're looking to expand, which obviously between the three of us we never thought that would happen, you know, considering COVID and stuff like that. And I think now, because more opportunities come about, more, you know, we're turning people away, which we don't want to do. We want to keep that hub growing. And I think we would not, you know, the three of us know we would not be able to be in that studio by ourselves every single day of the year. So I think managing expectations is huge, and I think between the three of you that's more realistic than, you know, one person trying to achieve a physical business.
Very easy to dream about things, isn't it?
We're all dreamers. It's dreamers that make great businesses at the same time, but it's also realizing, you know what things happen, because obviously innovators dream, and that's part of being human as well, isn't it, to have that kind of aspect. So I'm getting deep now. We can talk very deeply about it.
So think about it. I mean, if I wanted to record some music with you now, you know, how long are you booked up till? When will I be able to get in?
Good question. Anyone got like a calendar to have?
I reckon it honestly depends what a client wants. If you come in, if you know what you want, that's great. We can apply it, and I will personally direct you towards Luke or Sam, depending on your needs and your wants. But a lot of the time we have clients that come through and go, well, we kind of want this, but we're not too sure. So it depends. If it's someone that knows what they want and we have availability, we can go straight ahead with it. But we don't want to come up with a product that we and the client aren't happy with. So ultimately it depends on time, of how, you know, again, managing expectation of how long that track's actually going to take to develop, or if it's a band coming in to track because they know their sound, they've been rehearsing for the past, you know, 6 months, and they want to come and do that EP. It totally depends, and I think that's where we assess every single person that comes through the door,
because we essentially work in artist development as much as anything, because that's the heart of our model is
USP,
artist
isn't it?
Development. It's our USP. It's like, we're not just a studio where you go, oh, I'm going to go there and just track drums and it's going to be great. I mean, you can do that, and we'll do that for you, and we'll make sure that you come out with the best product possible. But we really, really care about the artist, and we really care about supporting this amazing, beautiful scene that's managed to kind of give us the opportunity to do the things that we love. We know that it's a circle, it's like a life cycle, you know, so that's our giving back in our way, is like making sure that studio can become a heart in Brighton, where people go, you know what, I need to do this and I want to get there. These guys are the most helpful studio at actually getting us to that point. We're going to go use them, because it's something we're passionate about. So as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really good. And if I'm right in thinking, you've got quite a few bookings, so you're quite busy at the moment. So
I mean, I think rehearsals are a sort of short turnaround time. We'll often we'll be booked, you know, for the week, and we may have regular slots and you know, regular bands who come to rehearse, but usually our bookings will fill up within that week. As opposed to
expanding.
Exactly. As opposed to recording, which obviously bands may book a month in advance. But yeah, I mean, certainly before this current lockdown, we'd be fully booked every month, kind of into the following
every day, I'd say.
Every day, booked. Like you said, Meg, hence the reason for the expansion. But and taking bookings into January as well. We've already had kind of a fair few recording bookings into next year, which is great to see. So
fingers crossed, no lockdown again.
So it's talking about COVID, because you can't really talk about business and not talk about COVID at the moment. I mean, how has it affected what you're doing, and how has it made you change what you're doing in any way?
I mean, I'll start very briefly saying that it threw us in the deep end. I mean, you know, we opened for what, 6 to 8 weeks, and then all of a sudden doors closed, you know, left in limbo. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? We completely re-evaluated, and you know what, we used the time to replan all of our packages, all of our pricing strategies. We did COVID discount schemes for people, so we did discounted rehearsals and recording when we were allowed to kind of come back into it. I think second lockdown's different. We've still had the support from people, which is great, but obviously it has hindered that kind of that trail of incline of interest in, you know, for musicians. We were trying to create. Yeah, and I think it won't hinder us because we won't let it hinder us. But short term, obviously, it's disappointing. But we have got the support of people. You know, especially now we're expanding. People are seeing the opportunity that is in front of us, and I think that's key to kind of, you know, COVID is here, but how are we going to get around it? It's not just going to disappear. So between the three of us, it's plan, adapt.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you two want to go.
Well, it's just that adaptation thing. It's like great businesses, they adapt, I think. And if you, like you were just saying, Meg, is like a perfect example. Like COVID isn't going to just go away overnight. This is probably something that we have to think of in the worst way possible for the businesses. Like this might still hinder people for a couple of years. So, and we still want to be a business for these years. So we have to just work. We have to work with it, and you know, rather than trying to fight against it or anything, or you know, well, obviously not. So, you know, I think it's taught us a lot. I mean, the things that we have grown together through this COVID thing has been amazing, because there's been this massive impact on businesses. We've managed to come out the other end like really well, and we've just gone like, you know what, if we can do this, imagine in those couple of years when this does die down and go away, what we can achieve after that is, you know, it could be monumental. Like, so it's a lovely feeling between the three of us that we have shared this year.
I think adding to that in a slightly unique way, but we because of the timing and that we were a very premature business when we started out, that we kind of fell just below the threshold of the businesses who were kind of greatly being affected. So, you know, we just started out, but we didn't really have masses of, you know, stuff to lose when COVID hit. So we kind of, it actually gave us a really great opportunity, like Meg said, to
knuckle down, I think,
and have a look at what we needed to do. And we'd had kind of the perfect amount of time to unintentionally have a trial run of how our business was working and what things we needed to improve on, and then we actually use that time.
I think that is also down to our own mentality. Sorry, Sam, just to say that that was our mentality as well, wasn't it? Like that's maybe not everyone would have taken that approach, but I think we looked at it, how can we think positively?
Obviously there's not much that you can do when COVID is about, and it depends on what sort of business you are. If you're a business that requires kind of direct contact with the client, like we do most of the time for probably half of our services that we have, it's difficult, for sure. But obviously, you know, the obvious, like doing as much as you can remotely.
But I think, you know, we wouldn't be in this if we weren't passionate enough to kind of keep going. I think that's what we learned straight away, you know, kind of having, you know, we built like a very, very small clientele when we opened our doors initially in February. And to those people, we're very thankful that they continue to support us through, you know, rebooking and, you know, rescheduling their rehearsals. And I think we just keep learning. I think we just keep developing. We keep up, like Luke said, we keep learning. We keep up to date with news, and being a bit smart and being aware. Every day is different. I think that's literally all we can say right now, is every day is different with that.
And actually acting on it as well, as opposed to saying, I think it's very easy just to say we'll do this and that, but rather than saying we'll do that tomorrow, you just do it now. You just do it there and then, out the way, and you get it done. And I think that's crucial to a successful business, really. You just
crack on.
I think, I mean, obviously, I'm going to start wrapping it up now. from my point of view, first of all, it's been fantastic talking to you and getting some insight into
Thank you.
Thank you.
thinking
Yeah.
about what you've had to do. It's always obvious to me when I'm talking to you how passionate you are about what you're doing. You are all expert in what you're doing. You desperately want to do it, and you want to do it as well as you want to, and it comes across to everybody. It's quite infectious, which is fantastic.
Good, that's great to hear.
Nice.
You're
Thank you.
absolutely right. If you're not passionate about it, why do it? And I think that you're great advocates for that. I think, I mean, I've been impressed by the way that as such a young company, you had to adapt almost straight after you started the business. And I'm sure that when you started that business, that wasn't what you were thinking. You weren't thinking, hey, I bet we're going to have a massive pandemic. I've completely changed how we run our business and close things and open them and learn about, wearing PPE and doing also, all the infrastructure and administration work that has to go into to show that you can open a business during this time, which you've done really effectively. So I'm going to kind of cut off at this point. Thank you so much. It's been really interesting.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to come and do this again in 6 months' time. When you clearly want to do it again.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice one.